And we return to the St. Clair College Sportsplex for Game 2 of our OCAA doubleheader. It's men's action now. The Sheridan Bruins 9-3 against the St. Clair Saints 4-6. I'm Aaron Sanders. Welcome back to We Digital. Glad to have you tune in for the men's portion of the doubleheader. We've seen women's action as the Sheridan Bruins prevail against the St. Clair Saints. And now the men will take over. Let's start talking about the Sheridan Bruins. They're being led by Nick Campbell and Jamal Edwards, both of those players averaging 21 and 19 points respectively, and they're coming off a good victory against the Lambton Lions on the road last night, 79-76, and they're looking to continue that winning streak as best as they can because they got a good challenge going on against the St. Clair Saints. The Saints trying to come off a loss against the Humber Hawks last night, 96-86, and they have a 4-6 record. They don't want to start off this weekend on a 1-1 slip, so they want to get a good victory going on. So they have a good player in David Gomez Jr. averages around 23 points per game, but it's going to take a whole lot more than him just to get a victory for St. Clair. So that's the story for you between the Bruins and the Saints. Last time both of these clubs met was in the first game of the OCAA season for these two on October the 20th, where the Sheridan Bruins prevailed 119-108. It was a really good fast-paced scoring game, but it ended up in the Sheridan Bruins' favor. So that's the story between the Bruins and the Saints. And when we return, we'll have Justin Prince and Royal Church on the call for you live from the St. Clair College Sportsplex. You're watching We Digital.
Hi everybody, this is Tina Brigley, host of In and Out of Your Mind with Tina Brigley on WeTV. Join me and my guests while we explore ways to get out of your mind and into your life. Join us each and every week for a new show. Come see me here on WeTV.
Welcome everyone to the St. Clair College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario for more coverage of OCAA basketball. This time the men take the floor as the Bruins get set to take on the Saints. I'm Justin Prince. Aaron Sanders joins me alongside me. Royal Church return for halftime. Let's quickly look at your lineups for the Bruins. Entering today's game, they have a lineup of A.J. Thompson, along with Khalik Bakari White, Nick Campbell, Keenan Danzo DePaul, along with Stephon Simpson. For the St. Clair Saints, they'll be wearing their green jerseys as they face the Bruins wearing their light blue jerseys. The lineup is the same as yesterday. Gomez Jr., Davis, Lynch, Smart, and Sykes will start the five today for the Saints. Your officials today, Paul Carter, Tim Cook, Scott Ryder, as both teams looking for a victory. The Bruins 9-3 entering today. The St. Clair Saints in a must-win with a 4-6 record and want to get back towards 500. Paul Carter tosses it up as the Bruins have the first possession. We're underway for the St. Clair College Sportsplex.
The most important thing is to get the points on the board immediately, because the last time these two have met, it was immediately back and forth in the first couple of plays. No misses. We'll see what works out in the first play.
Taking it around to the left side, Simpson, 6 on the shot clock. Drives inside, over top, and gets it to go.
You know, it's quite interesting when you have that outstretched arm into the traffic. It'll give you more leverage. It'll give you a softer touch off the backboard. Gomez Jr.
And Gomez Jr. gets it to go. Getting the right-handed layup.
And once again, that's Gomez Jr. bread and butter. Once he gets the first touch of the ball, he's going to go straight down to the lane. So that's one thing Sheridan's got to look after today.
Gomez Jr. picks up the rebound as he passes it off to Sykes. Both teams very high-paced offenses to start off today. As Gomez Jr. steps on back. Cross-court pass. Able to shuffle its way to Davis. Davis makes the defender fall over on the anchor. Blanker gets it.
And you know what? That's a street basketball move right there, JP. Once you get somebody on their floor, and when you mess with those ankles, you get enough separation to let that shot go.
Just a 4-2 start to start off, back and forth so far. Just about 90 seconds in. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders. The Bruins, the second chance. Diving around on the floor. Jump ball situation. As we'll see which way the possession arrow goes, they say it goes to St. Clair.
Yeah, because once again, Sheridan won the tap, so it's going to go to the Saints.
And the Saints having the possession here, 2 for 2 to start off the game. The Bruins 1 for 3 from the field. But of course, the Saints looking to get a victory this weekend after the tough game yesterday.
Absolutely, it was a very close game when you consider the second half. T.J. Howard came in, scored 8 quick points, which started a good run in the fourth quarter as Jalen Sykes knocks down the jumper.
And Sykes makes it a 6-2 run to start off for the St. Clair Saints. 2 points scored apiece for each player. Scoring as the N1 gets in. Keenan Danzo DePaul getting the N1 as he'll go to the line to shoot for 1.
Well, once again, take a good look at the replay. No help from the left side, so that was the Saints' weak side defense just falling asleep down there as Danzo Dapa gets the easy layup to go and the foul, but misses a 3-point play.
Picked up inside for the second chance, though, for the Bruins. And a whistle off the ball. It's going to go the other direction. He'll go back to the Saints for the basketball.
One thing St. Clair's got to make note of is they got to stay well-disciplined. They got to stay calm because their emotions almost got the best of them near the final stages of last night's game. So they got to keep calm and find some well-balanced scoring.
And keeping calm on the floor is Gomez finding Sykes. An absolute dime to salvage what was a near broken play.
Once again, when it comes to the hustle, you lose a lot of attention. 3-point basket, and it's a 4-point play coming up.
And it's Bakari White who stepped up big time in the last time these two teams played, getting the 4-point play on the foul called on Jawan Lynch.
Once again, that's not a good foul to take, especially from beyond the arc, but good for Danzo Dapa to get Lynch off of his feet. He just went right into the traffic, and now he got the 4-point play. Bakari White, my mistake.
Now it's an 8-8 game just like that. Sykes in the front court. Passed off to Lynch. Finding Smart. First touch of the game, finding Lynch. Mid-range jump shot, gets it.
And he's been working on that over the past 4 years in the St. Clair uniform. He's able to take a shot even with a hand up in his face.
10-8 to start off, 7:23 to go in the first. Pass back out to the outside for the long triple. Once again, it's good. Bakari White. And Bakari White was on fire last time these two teams played, and you're seeing why he's been so good against Windsor, against St. Clair here. As Lynch misses the long three, no good. Bruins trying to get the lead for the first time today. Passed outside. Danzo Dapa, no good. Picked up by Sykes. Lynch will rush it back down to Gomez Jr. Able to find Davis. Davis off the top of the screws, no good. And back and forth the scoring, very high pace. Both teams trying to control the tempo early. Spinning inside Campbell. Campbell able to find Bakari White. Once again, Bakari White for the three. And make it an on-fire start. Another triple. And now, timeout called by St. Clair, a 4-point lead.
Once again, it's a similar start to how both of those clubs played on October 20th, and it's Sheridan with a 4-point advantage.
Let's look at the West standings for the OCAA men's basketball side. The Bruins, like the women's team, 9-3, third in the standings, although this time against behind the Humber Hawks and the Niagara Knights. The St. Clair Saints, 7th, as mentioned during the pregame, with a 4-6 record and needing to win, especially with Lambton, the next basketball matchup.
And keep in mind, too, Lambton did lose against the Bruins by 3 last night. So, again, St. Clair, the must-win for them. This was a must-win ever since the weekend started. But the only problem that they have is finishing strong in the second half. You've seen them get into fast starts right at the beginning of the game, but that does not convert for the rest of the game.
Indeed, right now, both teams discussing things here. The timeout was called once again by St. Clair, their first of the half. They have one remaining for the quarter, I should say, here with this 4-point lead for the Sheridan Bruins. So far, the Bruins, again, 5 for 8 from the field. St. Clair 5 of 7. But the main difference, 3 triples as well for Sheridan on the board.
And that includes the 4-point play too, JP, which, once again, not a good decision.
Not a good decision indeed. Gomez Jr., though, looks to try and make a great decision. He takes it up and handed off to Sykes. Sykes sizes up on Simpson. Lynch, 11 on the shot clock. Passed off a Bruin as it goes out of bounds. Paul Carter says Saints possession, 8 on the shot clock still.
And you can see Jawan Lynch try to look for Ian Smart, who is right down the lane. He attracted all that double team attention right towards him, and it almost opened up for Smart, but the problem was the defense was just a little too much for Jawan Lynch down to the basket.
Sykes passed across to Smart. 2 on the shot clock to beat the buzzer in the lane, gets it. And that was a challenging one.
Did you see him spread eagle right in midair? He just flicked it up with no time left.
An amazingly challenging one in traffic, but now the Bruins try and respond. They do respond with a triple.
And they keep on responding with those triples because they're getting those good looks. The defense for the Saints too tight, which means it's going to create clutter, and that's going to lose a lot of attention, especially from their weak side.
Leads up to 5 as Sykes brings it back to 3 with a baseline jumper. Just his second bucket of the game. Bruins trying to continue this strong start of this matchup. Back in the post, A.J. Thompson knocks over Smart, gets it to go on this post spin.
So Bragan Segan doesn't get the call on that. Good spin move right around. That just left Ian Smart in his dust.
And it's rejected on the drive inside. Denzel Dappa getting the rejection. Top foul as Campbell hits the deck. Foul called against what appears to be, yes indeed, Dalen Davis, for what will be his first personal, second team.
And you can see Dalen Davis just trying to be there at the right time, but the problem was he was still moving as he got that pick, so that's a foul on him.
Pardon me, second personal. That leads to a substitution onto the floor now coming in for the Saints. As the first of 2 makes it now 20-14. I believe the substitution indeed is Ali Mansour, who normally wears number 9, wearing number 15 for today's matchup.
And he will be wearing number 15 for the rest of the year, as indicated by the co-head coaches last night.
Indeed, as now Sykes, hello basketball, as that one heads right over top our monitor. Aaron hands it back off to one of the officials, to Scott Ryder specifically. But a heads-up play by everyone here at the scorers table.
You know, if I would have known any better a few years ago, I would have tried out. I didn't know I still had the hands in me.
Jawan Lynch, tough play as he gets fouled from behind. And potentially going to the line to shoot for 2. First personal against the Bruins for the quarter. Foul going to be called against Denzel Dappa while going for that rejection. Now for the St. Clair Saints, first time to the line here today, here at the St. Clair College Sportsplex on the season as a team, 4th in the OUA, just under 71%.
And Jawan Lynch is going to the free throw line. He's a good free throw shooter. A lot of the people in the OCAA overlooked that, but he misses the second free throw.
1 for 2 at the stripe that time, keeps it a 7-point lead for the Bruins. They pass it along the perimeter. Whistle called on the drive. Bakari White tried to cut in. Called against Jalon Lynch. That'll be his second personal, 13th foul, as you see why here.
Once again, he was right into his body, and they were questioning that call because the Saints thought that he got shoved on the drive to the basket.
Jamal Edwards comes into the game along with Tremaine Anderson with the stoppage. Just past halfway into the first quarter here on We Digital, as rejected by Smart. A tough drive down towards the baseline, but knocks it right towards the green curtain. 7 seconds still on the shot clock as it'll be inbounded by Campbell. Campbell tries to find a cutting player in Bakari White, but went to the floor running into Gomez Jr. for the turnover.
It's a rarity for a Sheridan to cause a turnover like that, but you take a look at their head coach, Jim Flack, who's been with Sheridan for quite some time. 27, yeah, in unison. So he knows a thing or two about the Sheridan system, but now they have to regroup.
Smart puts up the 3, no good. Rebound this time picked up Anderson. Campbell tries to rush up, the leading scorer for the Sheridan Bruins entering today. Bakari White across to Campbell. Back to the corner for the long shot, and a second 4-point play of the game. How about that? This time, caught is Glenn Willis Perez.
Again, let's look at the play. That was his guy, but once again, when you have a big guy like him stretching his arm out and just leaning towards you, that just opens up a lot of opportunities, and that opened it up real well for Sheridan as they almost complete the 4-point play.
Denzel Dappa was the one who missed the free throw as Mansour passes in midair across to the corner. Lined up on the floor for the Saints, Mansour, Gomez Jr., Willis, Perez, Sykes, Smart. Sykes, contested jumper, makes it swish.
And that's good to get a jumper off the dribble, especially with a guy right on you. That just creates a lot of speed. It will fluster them, and they won't have enough time to recover.
Campbell, mid-range jumper, no good. Second chance, no good. As well as Paris picks up the board. Sykes, one of the Michigan transfers who came into the season for the Saints, has it knocked out of bounds. He'll stay Saints possession with 18 on the shot clock. Him along with Gomez Jr. have been huge for this team coming in, both players Michigan natives.
You know, St. Clair struck it rich with those transfers this year, and it's been showing a lot of promise as that shot gets blocked.
Shot blocked by Danzo Dampa, been very active on the shot blockers as it goes out of bounds. Stepping on the line this time, Bakari White. And it will stay an 8-point lead with 3:29 to go in the first.
Yeah, it may be 24-16, JP, but these two have been neck and neck since the beginning. Outside of those 4-point plays, they're really evenly matched, and again, it's showing overtones of their first meeting.
Smart tries to cut inside, meanwhile, too strong on the layup. Trying to get it over top the defender there. Campbell, meanwhile, trying to go up coast to coast, hands it off. Able to find the baseline, shuffling around Anderson, back to Campbell. Contested shot over Sykes, makes it go. And Campbell makes the triple. He came into today 44% from deep.
And the Bruins in general 5th from downtown with 34% per game.
Keep an eye on Campbell, as mentioned, one of the top scorers for this team. Meanwhile, stolen away, trying to pass to Mansour. Taken up by Edwards as he'll try and find a man. Stripped away by Sykes, as Sykes called for the reach. In fact, that's going to be putting the Bruins into the bonus. Substitution as well coming in with the stoppage. Kadoramod will come in, the Windsor, Ontario native. First-year player comes in for Sykes, as Sykes now has, I believe, 2.
You know, the interesting thing about this Saints team this year, JP, is their hustle. But the problem is they don't have a lot of discipline as the stages go on in this season. You've seen a lot of those reach-in fouls are not necessary because they realize they're trailing on the defensive end and they try to do so much, but it ends up burning them at the end.
I kind of agree with you on that one for sure, and you kind of don't want to get into a foul trouble. Nick Vagley had fouled out in the previous matchup. Multiple players had 4 fouls in the starting 5 in the previous matchup to start the season, as well as Paris barely keeps in bounds but stolen away. Coming right off the bench and getting the play was Dante Thompson. Intercepted on the pass, Jamal Edwards. Gomez Jr. puts up the coast-to-coast 3, gets it in transition. And all of a sudden, it's back to a 10-point game. Driving towards the bucket now. Mador Cisse able to find Campbell outside, no good. Picked up on the rebound. Pushing foul called, as it will be against the Bruins, just the second personal of the quarter.
You know, the Bruins did a good job persevering through that broken play.
Jermaine Anderson, the one called on the play. Agree with you on that. They've been very strong offensively again. As now Gomez Jr. no good. Picked up once again by Madou Cisse. Cisse lined up on the floor along with Anderson. Also lined up with Campbell. Driving inside on the play. Edwards no good. Here comes Mansour. Mansour has to stop on a dime. Finding Willis Paris. Nearly drawn for the charge. Gets his own miss. Finding Smart. Driving in on the back door. Misses. But able to draw the foul. Going to the line to shoot for 2 this time. It's going to go against Jermaine Anderson. His second personal in under 30 seconds.
You know, as the replay shows, before that, it was good for Glenn Willis-Paris to take his defender right out of the picture with the Euro step, and he tried to put it up and in. That knocked one of the Sheridan Bruins players down. Second chance opportunity opened up for Ian Smart, and here he is at the free throw line. But again, if I was Glenn Willis-Paris, I would kiss it off the backboard because you get so many of those good looks, you got to make them.
Indeed, Mario Fain, as you just seen coming in now with that man on the bench, you see in foul trouble, not happy either with that, as Anderson already in quick foul trouble. As now a whistle, looks like something with the clock, as now coming to the game for the first time is Dallas Aikens.
Yeah, they were asking, the bench was asking for a substitution. It was after the free throw, so therefore that should have been a substitution, and that's why Aikens is in now.
Coming in again for Ian Smart. Bruins swing it to Campbell. Driving inside, no good, picked up Willis Paris. Was Paris rushing up Akins. Akins finds Mansour. Driving in, no good, Ahmad. Ahmad right off the front rim and a beautiful opportunity. Coast to coast, meanwhile, and driving in is Cisse.
Yeah, and Willis Paris is lucky he didn't get tagged for the foul because he got his arm right after the shot went out of his hands.
Meanwhile, Gomez Jr. trying to run this offense to a 10-point lead, 1 minute to go in the first. Mansour finds Willis Paris. Willis Paris across now, Akins. 6 on the shot clock. Willis Paris using his range off the front rim. And another tough shot for St. Clair as they're starting to drop behind the Bruins. Sizing up inside on the Euro step, Cisse no good. Couldn't believe he missed that one. Gomez Jr. takes it up. Gomez Jr. finds Akins wide open for the runner.
After so many chances of going to the basket and finishing off with a layup, the Saints finally get one. Now they want to get good defensive stop as the clock winds down to 18.
Possibly the second last possession. Make it the last now for St. Clair as Campbell gets it. Campbell now with 7. Just 2 for 5 to start off on the field, 2 for the leading scorer for the Bruins. Gomez Jr. with 5 on the clock meanwhile. Trying to find any opening. Tough shot. Doesn't draw iron on the air ball. It's no good. 33-23 the score after 10 minutes of play. We'll be back right after this for the second quarter. You're watching We Digital Productions for OCAA men's basketball action from the St. Clair College Sportsplex.
I learn by doing. I learn by reacting to a situation. St. Clair puts me directly into my industry. I'm dealing with real patients, real life situations. It's not just theory, it's not book work anymore.
I choose to take control of my future and my path to St. Clair College. I choose to be here.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
We are resilient, often knocked down, but never backing down. You can spend your whole life on the outside looking in, or you can live it on the inside. Because that's where your passion lives. The drive to push beyond the naysayers, to find the fire that ignites your toughness. Because the truth is, winning always comes when you start from within.
You can see some of the happy fans here in this matchup to see some great basketball action. Probably not as happy, though, to see the Saints down by 10 to the Sheridan Bruins after 1 quarter play here on OC, here on We Digital. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders. It has been another shade of overtones, I should say, to the previous matchup at the start of the year between these two. In the first quarter of the previous matchup, it was a 34-22 lead after 10 minutes of play. Near identical way of this going so far.
Well, it's all because of the good shot choices from Sheridan, but at the same end, they're capitalizing on the weak defense side from the St. Clair Saints, and in addition to that, not a lot of discipline shown on the defense, so they need to tighten it up, and they have to finish strong on the other end, too.
Saints have the ball after the missed shot put up by Dante Thompson as Gomez Jr. drives in traffic, draws the whistle, as this indeed looks like it will be inbound down the baseline. First personal against the Bruins of the quarter.
Okay, we're taking a look at the replay again. He tried to go for the Euro step. 4 defenders right onto him. So Sheridan had a nice idea to contain the Saints' leading scorer, Gomez Jr.
And he'll go to the line to shoot for 2 as he draws the foul on the jump shot in midair. So a chance for him to add some free throws. In that previous game, too, between these two teams, he went to the stripe for 13 free throws. You see here, gets sent hard to the floor after drawing the whistle on Mario Fang.
And once again, it's one of the key things for the Bruins to contain David Gomez Jr. because he's such an elite scorer. Coming into this game, he averages 24.4 points per game. And in addition to all of that, he's a really fine scorer. 4th in the league in points per game.
And that shows the talent again, especially in terms of being able to drive inside as well as has a perimeter game if you can heat them up. Here comes the Bruins, though, after the 2-for-2 at the stripe. Quickly getting the bucket is Thompson.
Once again, the Saints falling asleep on defense. Sheridan's taking advantage of the mismatch. Nothing more than Mansour could do than try to contest the shot down low.
Absolutely. Well, Gomez Jr. puts up the contested shot, gets it. And the dead-eye shooter continues to drain buckets. That's 9 now in the game.
The moment he gets into the mid-range, it's either he will explode to the bucket or just pull up for a jumper like he did there. Quick putback's good.
Edwards gets it, the second leading scorer for the Sheridan Bruins, we should say. As Gomez Jr. tries to drive on by him, tries to deflect it around, bounces off a bunch of players, as here comes the Bruins. Giamfi was the one able to take it back up the floor for Sheridan. Giamfi gets it back, baseline, in traffic, and one. And wait a minute, they say baseline right before the contact, pardon me. You see right there.
Now that's a crying shame too, because that's a hard-fought 2 points being taken away.
That was right, the right foot just on the baseline, right as he put up the shot, as you've seen on the replay.
Yep, he tried a tightrope and he didn't become aware of his surroundings.
Mansour swings it to Akins, back to Gomez Jr. Gomez Jr. mid-range shot, again gets it. And Gomez Jr. looking really good. Working a bit with Smart, but again, Sheridan rushing right up the floor. Not even giving a chance for the Saints to set their defense. Giamfi inside and traffic rejected by a couple Saints. Jumping on the ball was a couple Sheridan Bruins. Finally calling the whistle, as they do say jump ball. And looking at the direction, they say it goes towards St. Clair, as it should, I believe.
Yeah, but it's by way of the possession arrow.
Yes,
good hustle from St. Clair.
The possession arrow was pointing that way either way, but still, first picked up after the rejection from Sykes, then getting jumped on top by a couple Bruins, as you've seen.
One of the most difficult plays, JP, is trying to hustle for the loose ball down to the post as Akins misses the shot.
That was because it was deflected away on the shot, too, by the Bruins. Here comes the Bruins. Able to find the red hot Bakari White. Bakari White rejected. Here comes Smart. 3-on-2 on the fast break. Smart inside with the left hand, misses. Outside it goes, right by Jim Flack. It will stay St. Clair possession. St. Clair still trailing by 8 with 7:30 to go in the first half. As coming back onto the floor is Danzo Dappa, who went off with foul trouble in that first quarter. Had 2 personals in the quarter. Inbounded back to Smart. Smart, contested layup, gets it. Correction, Danzo Dappa with 1, I should say, but either way, back on the floor. Simpson able to find his man. Danzo Dappa pass down low. Bouncing around Thompson, but losing it. He'll go back to St. Clair. And Thompson tried to plead his case and trying to see if what the whistle is here. Yes, indeed, they have given a technical to him. Spoke too much to the officials there.
And we had a total of 3 technical fouls last night between Humber and St. Clair. Hopefully it's not a repeat of that, but if you're the Sheridan Bruins, you have to calm down. A 6-point lead, and it was about a 12-point lead early on, JP, but you have to be careful. This is where the discipline has to come in control. Jim Flax has to calm the Sheridan Bruins down, because the problem with the pace of the game, the way it's going, it's too fast, and you could see a lot of more turnovers, a lot more hustle. That's the only positive thing. But again, it's all about control, and you have to control the game. You have to control the rebounds, and you have to control your passes.
You absolutely have to. You don't want to have too many turnovers. The Bruins actually have more turnovers than St. Clair, 7-3. However, that's where 12-2 points in paint count. Turnovers come in as Mansour gets it. Mansour waking up on offense with the triple. Here comes the response. Drawing the whistle on the drive is Simpson. And he'll go to the line to shoot for 2. Looked back, though, with the Mansour triple.
See, it's just good ball movement. Dallas Akins over to Mansour. And you can see right down low, Sheridan was just too late to respond to Mansour. When you get that open shot, you got to take it.
You absolutely have to, and did take that open shot. Meanwhile, Campbell took the contested shot to be able to now take 2 for 2 at the stripe. Gomez Jr. having to deal with the press now from the Bruins. Gomez Jr. finds Smart. Down low, Aikens rejected again. Once again up the floor, Bakari White finds his way down low, finding a way to Simpson for the bucket.
And that was right before Ian Smart came down right from behind.
And now Sykes with the fader, contested shot gets it.
You know, I find it quite hard to get the ball and just have enough time just to fade away, especially near the basket.
And that time, another quick shot within 5 seconds of the shot clock. Meanwhile, responding quickly, Danzo Dappa. And now it's back to 47-37, 43-37. Sykes responds to get another bucket. 4th straight for Sykes. And Sykes can do this when he gets hot. He can make those jumpers. Inside, meanwhile,
what a move.
A tough layup for Omar Subban. Everyone's making their buckets here today. Mansour across to Gomez Jr. 14 on the shot clock, approaching halfway in the second. Gomez Jr. no good, gets his own miss. Fresh 14, gets the blinker. Yes, sir. And David Gomez Jr. gets the quick bucket. Rushing down is the Bruins. It looks like the Bruins are starting to run for under 10 seconds for every shot. That one gets under 9 seconds. Second chance now picked up Akari White. Wide open, Simpson gets it to go. That's his second triple, 2 of the game. And that looks like just how the Bruins offense wants to play today. Very high tempo, under 10 seconds each shot.
Reminds me of Mike D'Antoni back in the day with the Phoenix Suns. Shoot it in less than 7 seconds.
Swing it around Mansour to Smart. 7 down low. Doesn't get it to go as it's picked up on the rebound, Danzo Dappa. Simpson takes it left side. Drawing the whistle, Mansour going to be called for the reach, as that will be the second personal for the Saints of the quarter.
You can see Ali Mansour just trying to get on his defensive assignment, but it's just the body position that got him.
Yeah, the left elbow specifically is what gets him. He'll stay on the floor, lined up with Willis Paris Sykes, also lined with Aikens Gomez Jr. That's the 5 on the floor for the Saints. Cutting in Danzo Dappa. He'll go to the line to shoot for 2 meanwhile.
And you can see Glenn Willis-Paris getting burned there. He'll pick up his second foul.
Yes, indeed he will. Danzo Dappa, meanwhile, 0 for 2 from the stripe, meanwhile, we should note. And it looks like, of course, you can see Jim Flack wanting to make some adjustments with how this is going. They still have the lead, but no lead is safe, of course, especially when you consider that matchup again back in October. And you mentioned how these two teams play, essentially.
Well, the way this game is going, it's a matter of trying to pick up the tempo because it's going on both sides right now. It's very neutral because they keep on going back-to-back with the buckets. So somebody has to establish the pace right here and find a way to slow things down.
Dallas Aikens was the one who got the foul called on him to make the correction, not Willis Paris. Either way, comes off the floor, coming back in with that stoppage, Dalen Davis. Driving towards the hoop is Campbell, and he'll go to the line to shoot for 2. And Campbell continuing to get a lot of touches again, as expected. You expected him to step up in this kind of a game, and he's trying to do that now.
It's one of the main reasons why he averages around 20 points per game, JP. And again, Sheridan's taking advantage of of St. Clair's defense. If it's not cluttered, then it's somebody trying to do a little bit too much, and that's what gets them the foul. So Sheridan's doing a real good job right now.
Campbell 7th in the OCAA in steals, 8th in points per game, and as well in the top 10 in minutes per game, and 3rd in made shots. And that time getting it to the line to get it to 10. Gomez Jr. finding Davis to get away from the press. Mansour out to Willis Paris. Saints trying to stretch the defense. Mansour tries to pass it to Gomez Jr., but a miscommunication goes off to a fan instead. And that fan in the red hoodie not happy that he got the pass instead of Gomez Jr. 4 minutes to go in the second, meanwhile. And this one passed directly instead to Brandon Segan instead of Alex Campbell. So 2 miscues in the span of 5 seconds.
Well, at least they're in the game, though.
Yeah, at least for sure. But either way, the Bruins still lead by 10. Next foul by the Saints would put the Bruins in the bonus. For those keeping in track, 4 personals for the Bruins, 4 personals for the Saints, I should say, 3 for the Bruins. Lynch into the game now for the Saints. Double team down the baseline. Another bad pass and tapped out of bounds by Denzel Dappa. Davis trying to keep it in bounds.
Yes, he played instigator on that play, and good hustle from him. He stayed right on Lynch, and he was able to put that ball away.
Tough shot inside, drawing the whistle, the Saints. Denzel Dappa, the one called for the foul. Pardon me, it looks like Cisse, the one called for the foul, pardon me. Not, as I mentioned, Denzel Dappa. Either way, Willis Paris to the line to shoot for 2.
You see Willis Paris, this is his 2nd year with St. Clair. Same with Ali Mansour. They have a connection with them because they both played for Kennedy back in the day, so they were teammates. Back-to-back OFSA appearance, a bronze medal to boot. And you could see the reason why they were able to swoop up Willis Paris and Mansour at the same time, as Glenn Willis Paris misses the free throws.
Missed both of them, in fact, as Campbell cuts in over top. Sykes gets it. And now it's a double-digit lead, even more so for the Bruins. Gomez Jr. slows up the pace, gets the pick and roll with Willis Paris. Gomez Jr. double-teamed, kept in bounds for the steal. And a good, smart double team. Here comes Campbell, though, trying to go up inside. Finds the wide open. Cisse can't make it roll in. Sykes able to get the rebound off the tap as now the Saints try and push the tempo. Willis Paris into the lane, over Cisse, no good. Lynch can't get the putback. Sykes, though, can't get the third. For the 4th chance, gets it. And Jalen Sykes took 4 times, but the Saints get the bucket. In response, it's another triple. Yes, indeed, Bakari White.
Oh, here we go with the shootout again, but Sheridan picking up the pace and making the game their own as they're up 13.
39 points was how much Bakari White had the last time these two teams played. He's heading towards that territory again. Gomez Jr. misses, meanwhile. Willis Paris cleans up the glass.
He gets his first 2 points on the board, and hard-fought 2 points for him.
Known to be able to clean the glass like that in a lot of games so far, especially this year. As Sykes pokes it away from Campbell, keeps possession.
Saints in a 3-2.
Breaking through the 3-2. Campbell for the backwards layup, misses. Hitting the deck, getting the putback, though, Denzel Dappa. And good awareness for Denzel Dappa, but a tough shot for Campbell. Gomez Jr. coast to coast, meanwhile rejected by the block by Denzel Dappa. My goodness. Sent that ball into another time code.
And look at that, right on time.
And that was right after making the putback bucket on the other side. My goodness, what athleticism you have to say for Denzel Dappa. TJ Ward now coming in, and he was someone that was a major impact yesterday. Howard gets the inbound. Passed out back to Davis, swinging around to Sykes. Sykes down low, again Howard. Double teamed in the post. Sykes for the lawn jumper, no good. Rebound by Campbell, but tapped off his face 3 times. And that will be a foul against, I believe, St. Clair, Jalon Lynch for the reach, I believe.
The foul could have gone either way, but again, that's going to go on T.J. Howard.
Yes.
And you're right on him on that. 9 quick points from him when he came off the bench near the 4th quarter. It was just too little too late for that scoring run, but rest assured, we should expect T.J. get more minutes here today because of that effort.
Campbell, the one to the line to shoot for 2 after the drawn whistle, misses the free throw, though. As now, for the Bruins, 10 of 14 from the stripe so far today. Saints just 5 of 9 in comparison, as he makes it 1 for 2. Saints trying to break through the press. 14-point lead for the Bruins, approaching 90 minutes to go in the first half. Davis stripped away again, stolen away by Edwards. And a drawn whistle down the line. Lynch kicks it out of bounds. It'll stay Bruins possession.
Well, you can see Juwan Lynch is a good hustle player, but the problem is when he's the only one right ahead of the pack defensively, he has no choice but to draw the foul. They don't want a quick 2 from Sheridan.
If I'm hearing this right, in fact, what's called the foul on that play down the baseline. It looks like might have kicked with the foot to have the foul drawn. And that one called on as Bacardi White goes to the line to shoot for 2. He had an ice-cold game, though, yesterday. Do have to say, in the matchup for the Bruins yesterday, in that 79-76 victory over the Lambton Lions. 10 points, 10 rebounds, but 4-15 from the field.
Once again, this shot did not go well for him, but he picked up a double-double, and you can see one of the reasons why. He misses a second free throw.
Missing both there as it stays a 16-point game. Brought across by Gomez Jr. Another double team. Cutting inside Ahmad, finding Smart for the long shot. Way off, no good. And you weren't happy with that shot selection. Simpson finding his way, though, to Bakari White. Makes it go, yes, sir.
So Bacardi White making do with his performance last night. He's just making up for it, and it's all because of him getting those good looks.
Howard in traffic, no good. Goes out of bounds as the Bruins pick it up right on top of the baseline. But that was a very tough shot. But you have to say with the Bruins, they've been bringing a lot of double teams anytime someone from the Saints gets the ball under 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, with a double team like that, you got to try to draw for the foul.
And or it forces the missed shots. Ahmad, though, makes the shot, yes, sir. And Ahmad making the triple, a much-needed bucket again for St. Clair in this one.
If I'm not mistaken, that's Kodora Ahmad's first basket.
He averaged 1 point per game in 6 appearances coming into today.
Well, first points at home.
Yes, indeed. Missing the 3, though, and wanting the foul on the floor is Edwards as it goes out of bounds.
And honestly, I would have called that foul too, because the position was right. Once we got it off, he got the contact. That should have been a foul, so the Saints got lucky on that end.
Especially, that could have been another trip to the line on the 3-point attempt. 3rd time, potentially. They've already had 2 4-point plays allowed today. Gomez Jr., though, with the possession. 20 seconds left. 5-second different shot clock, game clock. Mansour draws the whistle. He'll go to the line to shoot for 2. Ahmad, rather.
And that's all you could do right there. When you have defense coming down to the baseline, you have to try to beat it or try to get a floater down. As you can see, Kodora Ahmad, he gets the ball. He drives from the baseline thanks to T.J. Howard blocking down Jamal Edwards. So he's able to get down easily and draw the foul.
And Ahmad makes the first of 2. Last game he played was 1 minute period against Humber for 1 minute. Last time with significant minutes was 4 points scored in 2 minutes against Lambton on the road November 21st. Also against Redeemer had 7 minutes, did not score in the first home game for the Saints of the season. So including the triple on the season, 9 total points for Ahmad on the year before the trip. 16 seconds left, though, with the shot clock off, as you see on your screen. Sheridan with the possible last shot of the quarter. Campbell running, Simpson running the point. Simpson gets the pick set. Dancing around Bakari White. 3 on the shot clock. Tough layup. Gets the lucky roll to beat the buzzer. And for Bakari White, just about everything has gone today. Able to make a tough contested layup to beat the buzzer to get a 14-point lead for the Sheridan Bruins entering halftime and entering the locker rooms. After 2 quarters of play, 64-50 your score here on We Digital. We'll be back right after this for halftime coverage featuring Aaron Sanders here on We Digital.
Hi everybody, this is Tina Brigley, host of In and Out of Your Mind with Tina Brigley on WeTV. Join me and my guests while we explore ways to get out of your mind and into your life. Join us each and every week for a new show. Come see me here on WeTV.
I learn by doing. I learn by reacting to a situation. St. Clair puts me directly into my industry. I'm dealing with real patients, real life situations. It's not just theory, it's not book work anymore.
I choose to take control of my future and my path to St. Clair College. I choose to be here.
Welcome back to the St. Clair College Sportsplex. It is a 14-point lead for the Sheridan Bruins, 64-50 against the St. Clair Saints. Standing by with me right now, the head coach of the Sheridan Bruins, Jim Flack. And Jim, this first half seriously has overtones of the last visit, even though it was the first game. Your thoughts of the first 20 minutes?
It is. It seems to be what happens when these two teams meet, and I don't know why, but you got to check the lights on the scoreboard when it's over to make sure they haven't burned out. I don't know. We're both coaches are into their guys about defending better, but you know, these are good athletes and good basketball players, and it's a good show for people.
You guys won the bronze medal last year, and of course, all that success translated over the past few years, but we're seeing a lot of players break out. Nick Campbell, Jamal Edwards, Gadari White in addition to that. What is it about this Sheridan system that keeps on being successful year after year?
Well, we really try and recruit kids that are serious about school. Some of them don't know they're serious about school until they get there. And we try and have a program where we play a lot of guys. And therefore, the guys that get minutes that on a lot of other programs wouldn't get minutes want to come back. And then they want to come back again. And then by the time they get to the third or fourth year, they've gone from being a freshman or somebody makes a lot of mistakes to somebody who's got 3 or 4 years under their belt and hopefully is going to graduate. And so it's not about, as much as we all like to think it is, it's not about basketball. It's about trying to get these guys to graduate so that when they're 32, they've got a good life. So that's what we're trying to attempt. And it just so happens that by keeping them engaged year after year, they want to come back. It translates into a program that can usually compete.
And I know you're going to have a little bit more time to recruit in the next few weeks because you guys host an annual tournament down at the Sheridan complex. You guys have been doing it for 27 years. We know how competitive the Sheridan Bruins team is, but how competitive are these high school students into that tournament?
Well, we haven't, and I don't think we're going to. We haven't bought into the whole prep system. I'm a big believer. I was a high school teacher before, and I come from a family of educators. I personally believe that the best way that a society can deliver sport is through its education system. Because it teaches all the things in citizenship that we want. And so we're going to do whatever we can as the prep system bubbles to the top. We're going to do whatever we can to maintain that as a high school tournament so that people understand that the delivery of an academic athletic education, I think, is wonderful. And I hope it doesn't get pushed aside for some sort of quasi-club system. So we're going to support it, and we're going to keep going. And we love the coaches that come. We love the student athletes we get out of it. We're very proud of that tournament.
That's right. Education comes first, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's get back to this game. Keys for the second half.
I'd like to see us key in a little bit more on their scores. And offensively, we need to move the ball a little bit better. It's sticking in a couple of guys' hands a little too much. And they're usually pretty good at creating things, which is cool. But the more we can move the ball, the tougher we are to defend. So if we do those things, I think we'll be okay.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you for your time, Coach. Have fun in the second half. We'll be back with more right after this message.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
Welcome back to We Digital. Standing by with me, the co-head coach of the St. Clair Saints, Brendan Segan. Your thoughts after the first 20 minutes, because it went pretty fast. You couldn't even blink without seeing people score.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's scoring. We scored at a good pace too, but our defense is absolutely terrible. We need to make a big adjustment going into the second half.
Almost 3 4-point plays going on. I know there has to be some sort of discipline added to that. So what do you have to do defensively in order to get back into this game?
Our biggest thing is our help defense. Our guys don't have their head on a swivel. They don't know where the shooters are. By the time they realize that they're overcompensating and running out too hard, not breaking down, and they're running over shooters, and it's unacceptable. We need to make the adjustment.
I know this is a must-win game for you guys, going through 2 straight games at home. I mean, outside of looking at the results, what has been the advantages of having back-to-back games at home?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, just comfortable. Overnight, you're in your own bed. You're not traveling on a bus the whole time. You're comfortable. So that's the biggest thing, and we're comfortable playing here. We shoot the ball well here, but we let other teams shoot it too well. But, I mean, overall, it's just better to be at home 100% of the time.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time, Brendan. All right, Brendan Segan, the co-head coach of the St. Clair Saints. We're going to pause for one more commercial message, and I'll have Royal Church join me for the stats and facts of the first half here on We Digital.
We are resilient, often knocked down, but never backing down. You can spend your whole life on the outside looking in, or you can live it on the inside. Because that's where your passion lives. The drive to push beyond the naysayers. To find the fire that ignites your toughness. Because the truth is, winning always comes when you start from within.
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm your co-host of the We Digital production, We Now. Anyone interested in promoting a business, an event, a book signing, or maybe even just making aware of the movers and shakers of Windsor-Essex County, We Now can do that for you. We'll get your word out. So make sure you email me at josie@we-tv.ca to book an in-studio session that will air live on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube.
The job market has changed, and I have to adapt. I'm not just getting theory, I'm getting skills. A degree isn't necessarily a pathway to their career. Being industry ready is. I choose to take control of my future, and my path is St. Clair College. I choose to be here.
Back on We Digital, 14-point lead for the Sheridan Bruins as we are still in halftime. Royal Church joins me right now, and it's quite interesting how if you blink, you're going to miss something, and that's as far as scoring is concerned. Back and forth game for both the Bruins and the Saints, but the most interesting thing about the Bruins is they have 4 players already in double-digit scoring figures.
Yes, they do, Aaron, led by Kalik.
Bakari White.
Sorry, I forgot his name there. Bakari White. A very impressive player, 18 points, leads his team. As I mentioned to you, and you just said, 4 players in double figures in the first half is pretty impressive. And that's the thing about playing a team from the GTA. They got athletes, they've got 50 or 60 real good athletes trying out for the team. Whereas you take a St. Clair team, we just don't have the people to pick from, and the athletes to get like they do in the GTA, and sheer numbers are amazing, and they come in here and just run, and they substitute, they throw 5 more at you and then 5 more at you, and it wears teams down because we just don't have the athletes to put in to compete.
But it doesn't mean they're not competing, because we have a lot of Saints players that are stepping up. David Gomez Jr., of course, having his traditional performance right now, but not a lot of balanced scoring from St. Clair in the first half.
No, David Gomez Jr. with 14 and Jalen Sykes with 14 are probably would you say, 2 of our best players.
Absolutely.
And they're leading us in scoring, but we don't have the balance. We don't have the secondary players that can come on the floor and get the job done, score some points, play some defense, get a couple of rebounds, steals, and really contribute to the success of the team. We don't have, we have good players, and certainly the coaches have done a real nice job putting this team together this year. They're very much improved over the previous years, last couple of years, and I think they're going to do some significant things in the league, in the West Division here in the in the OCAA men's basketball. But it's just a lot harder for us to grasp onto that success than it is a Sheridan or a Humber.
In terms of perseverance, what do St. Clair have to do to overcome this 14-point deficit and get back into this game?
Well, I think they have to have some, as they say in hockey, puck luck around the basket. A couple of shots rolling in that you didn't think were going to go in. You have to get solid defense. Defense always wins over offense. So if they can play better defense, box out, rebound, and be aggressive, don't sit back, I think they'll be in good shape for the second half.
All right, we'll see what the tale unfolds here. A 14-point lead for Sheridan as they're up 64-50 against the St. Clair Saints. That'll do it for a halftime show. Justin Prince and I will be back on the call. We return to the Sportsplex in just a moment. You're watching Saints basketball on We Digital.
Hi everybody, this is Tina Brigley, host of In and Out of Your Mind with Tina Brigley on We TV. Join me and my guests while we explore ways to get out of your mind and into your life. Join us each and every week for a new show. Come see me here on WeTV.
I learn by doing. I learn by reacting to a situation. St. Clair puts me directly into my industry. I'm dealing with real patients, real life situations. It's not just theory, it's not book work anymore.
I choose to take control of my future and my path to St. Clair College. I choose to be here.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
We are resilient, often knocked down, but never backing down. You can spend your whole life on the outside looking in, or you can live it on the inside. Because that's where your passion lives. The drive to push beyond the naysayers, to find the fire that ignites your toughness. Because the truth is, winning always comes when you start from within.
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm your co-host of the We Digital production, We Now. Anyone interested in promoting a business, an event, a book signing, or maybe even just making aware of the movers and shakers of Windsor-Essex County, We Now can do that for you. We'll get your word out. So make sure you email me at josie@we-tv.ca to book an in-studio session that will air live on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube.
Welcome back, everyone, to the St. Clair College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario, as the St. Clair Saints trail 64-50 to the Sheridan Bruins. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders, as right now it has been an interesting one. A game back and forth, but as you see with the live stats, the stats don't exactly tell the full story so far.
It's been a hot shooting display from both of these clubs so far. St. Clair shooting 53%, Sheridan shooting 60% from the field, but it's been a matter of free throws and three-pointers that's been helping Sheridan along. But the advantage that St. Clair has right now, a plus 11 of the points off of turnovers, but it's a very close game right now. Rebounds are close, turnovers are close. Again, it's a close game, but the only team that's been picking up the pace has been Sheridan because of their wise shot choices and their ability to go to the line.
And their ability to shoot 75% from beyond the arc, plus 6 in made triples. And as mentioned during the halftime show with Royal Church, 4 players in double digits for Sheridan, just 2 for St. Clair that have helped them shoot 60%.
Absolutely. You look at the leading scores right now. Khalik Bakari White, 18, 12 points apiece for Nick Campbell and Stefan Simpson. But Keenan Danso Dapa has 10 points. And the only 2 players that are in double-digit scoring figures for St. Clair are their top leading scorers, David Gomez and Jaden Sykes with 14. So no question about it, you need some more balanced scoring from St. Clair if you want to come back and win this game. But you got to be wise on the defensive end too.
Some happy fans, as you see on the sidelines here at the St. Clair College Sportsplex, hoping to see a comeback here from the hometown Saints. But still, anything can happen. And be sure to bring your friends every time sports happen here at St. Clair College, because you never know what's going to happen here at the Sportsplex.
Each and every home game for St. Clair is a human highlight film. If you have David Gomez and Jalen Sykes providing damage on the men's end, you also got the Casera sisters, Nord Bazzi, and everybody else for the ladies Saints. So they will always provide entertainment for you right here at the Sportsplex.
Indeed, right now, but still, 20 minutes of play to go in regulation. Anything can happen. The Sheridan Bruins won the tip to start off the game. They'll start off with the first possession of the third quarter. With possession start off, Stefan Simpson able to find Alex Campbell, rejected by Jelon Lynch. Lynch able to poke it on away, still fighting for the ball. Is A.J. Thompson able to find its way back out. 10 still on the shot clock. Driving inside, missing Simpson, picked up by Ian Smart. Down the floor, Sykes gets it tapped out of his hands, and he'll go back the other direction. When tapped out of his hands on the pass, back into his hands, and one goes right out of bounds.
Once again, that's been pretty much the story for both of these clubs. Nothing but hustle from both these clubs, but good on Jawan Lynch to keep a hands on it defensively.
On the floor for the Bruins, lined up is Bakari White along with the contested shot of Denzel Dampa. He's going to try and box around with A.J. Thompson in the corner. Also lined up on the floor to round of the five. Once again, Campbell and Simpson. Lynch cuts inside to the hoop, gets it.
Once again, if he's able to work on both ends of the floor with that same hustle, that could pick up for the rest of the St. Clair squad.
Lined up on the St. Clair Saints side. Gomez Jr. lined up with Smart, Davis, Sykes, along with Lynch. The ball is tapped out of bounds, meanwhile, off of Smart on the defense. Thompson had possession. And just past a minute into the third quarter, what do you expect to see adjustment-wise now that you've started to see how it's been feeling out for the first minute 5?
You have to spread the floor on the defense. If you're able to find a good fast break, make sure you find a leading trailer or get Jawan Lynch involved.
Indeed, right now, as it's inbounded directly inside by the Bruins. Going back outside, Simpson. 5 on the shot clock, make it 3. Stolen away right to Gomez Jr. Right up the floor, finds the back door to Sykes with a contested layup.
Once again, you're looking for your trailer, and it was Jalen Sykes. A good connection, Michigan to Michigan, Gomez to Sykes.
And a little high five, too, for that assist. Campbell draws the whistle as the foul called on his hand, as he'll go to the line to shoot for 2. First foul of the quarter on this.
See, you can see the Saints spreading out defensively, but again, the problem is the reach is either on Davis or Sykes. We'll see who the foul was on.
Yes, I think he's the one claiming the foul on the play. Either way, 10-point lead still for the Bruins. Campbell misses the first of 2. In the first half, the Sheridan Bruins 11-17 from the stripe. 7 for 11 for the stripe was the Saints in that first half.
And keep in mind, the majority of those free throws weren't from the layups. Again, some of them came from 4-point plays.
Yeah, 2 of them to be precise for the Bruins. Smart barely got the inbound. Gomez Jr. sizing up twice, finding Sykes. Baseline jumper gets it. And the bench happy with that one. Another good jump shot for Sykes. 16 on the game. Make it 18. Campbell responds, mid-range off the front rim. Tapped on back, right to Sykes. Possible transition play with the right hand, hook gets it. Right inside the lane with the layup, 4 straight points for Sykes. Bruins rushing back down the floor to try and take advantage. Open for the 3 outside off the back rim, no good. Denzel Dampa. Denzel Dampa passes out to Campbell for the 3 again. No good, barely.
Heartbreak City for Sheridan from the corner 3.
Had to pause for a second, it nearly rolled back in. Gomez Jr. fingertip rolls it in. Timeout called by Coach Flack.
Once again, good run from St. Clair. They're not speeding things up. They're making sure people are ahead of the pack before they make those passes. You see Gomez Jr. finishing off on one end. And again, it's just the defense picking up for St. Clair as they're on a 10-1 run to start the third.
Absolute domination and absolute momentum swing here to start off this third quarter here. As it's been an absolute good start for them. Let's, of course, remind you of the last game for the men's basketball team for the Saints. As talked about a bit during the pregame, they played against Humber last night, lost 96-86 after the Saints held a 25-22 lead in the first quarter. But the second quarter was the major quarter, 33-20 in the second quarter outscored.
And no matter what St. Clair did to chip away from that lead, they cut it to 1. They couldn't outwit Humber as far as a three-point percentage goes. 42% for Humber, an abysmal 13% from beyond the arc for St. Clair. But it's a different story tonight.
And as you see, the fans, while looking at their cell phones, also cheering on the Saints here as the run continues with a 10-1 run. We'll see if the timeout can break up the momentum. However, to get to your point with three-point shooting, just 3 of 11 St. Clair today, so it's around that same sort of situation today, really the whole weekend for both teams.
Yeah, and keep in mind, St. Clair came in as the top 10 three-point shooting team. That's for sure is going to descend by the end of this weekend. But they realize this is a big boy game, so they're relying more on the forwards to get those shots down because they know they got physical challenge going on in Humber and Sheridan right now.
Simpson gets the ball from Campbell, swung back again to, once again, Bakari White. Bakari White, 6 on the shot clock. Off balance, able to find Simpson for the 3, gets it.
And once again, the woes of the Saints defense from the first half coming back to fruition. When you get clustered right down the middle, you lose all attention from the corner.
And driving right to the hoop is Gomez Jr. in response. And Gomez Jr. trying to put his team on his back. Bakari White, contested mid-range off the back rim. Tapped out by Lynch, able to be picked up by Dalen Davis. Up the floor to Smart. Finding Davis back inside, stretch back outside directly to Simpson for the steal. And Humber's got numbers. Wide open in the corner for the triple, it's no good. That shot from Edwards, second chance, no good as well from Sheridan.
You know, St. Clair got lucky because Juwan Lynch was the only one boxing out for the rebound. No help.
Able to be passed out to Davis. Meanwhile, air balls it off the mark by 2 feet, it looked like. As now with 6:23 to go in the third quarter, still a 6-point lead for the Bruins. Substitution on the floor as well. Thompson is out. Back in is Tremaine Anderson. Now for the Bruins.
And Tremaine picked up one assist and 2 rebounds in the first half.
Campbell swings on back to Simpson. Now back around the perimeter, able to find Edwards. Edwards shuffles into the paint. Back out to Campbell. 4 to work with on the shot clock. Tipped away by Lynch. Stolen away by Lynch. Up the floor, nearly batted away from him as he circles back. Passes back to Gomez Jr. reset. To Davis. Open in the mid-range. Jump shot. Nearly wedges the ball. Simpson tries to rush it back down. Able to shed right on by, but misses the open layup.
It's quite interesting. You have too many blown opportunities defensively, but how about Sheridan not finishing it off?
And Gomez Jr. hits the floor. Gets the ball as it falls back down, but he'll go to the line to shoot for 2.
Once again, fast break opportunity. Gomez leading the offense. Finds some way to cut through. And he gets fouled. The beauty about Davis Gomez Jr.'s game, JP, is his ability to change his shot in mid-air and just try to finish strong. He's one of the strongest finishers in the OCAA, and his points per game really shows it. 4th in the league once again as he knocks down the first free throw. That's the type of leadership that St. Clair Saints squad has been needing, considering how they've been performing the last couple of years. And for him to break out in his first OCAA season, it stirs up a lot of promise, especially for the rest of the 2019 calendar year.
Makes the second, meanwhile. It brings it down to 4. He joins the 2 players for the Saints in 20 points so far, along with Sykes. On the floor now, Willis Paris matched up against the big man inside. No good. Tremaine Anderson. Smart rushes back on the left side. Got to find Willis Paris. Open Lynch. Fakes it in. Gets the mid-range at the top of the key. Misses. And that was a good pump fake, but now the Bruins trying to make the Saints defense pay again. Anderson circles back. Back outside Edwards. Swung back again, Bakari White. Now Edwards back in the paint. Deflected from behind by Sykes, but the putback is good.
Man down.
From Anderson, and this is not good. A St. Clair Saint is down on the floor, and this is not good.
Once again, that's one of the problems of trying to do too much defensively. Luckily, he's able to get back up on his own will, but
Jalen Sykes, yes.
A guy like Jalen, if he's able to go on the bench for a few minutes, St. Clair would have to pick it up, but luckily for him, he'll stay on the court.
Gives the head nod to Brandon Segan to stay on the floor as Gomez Jr. misses the 3. Sykes gets a deflection, right for the steal, right afterwards. Lynch for the triple. Yes, sir! And now it's just a 1-possession game once again. The fans here at the St. Clair College Sportsplex on their feet, the bench, clapping their hands, excited with the momentum. Campbell sizes up, spins back on Sykes. Sykes deflects it away. Here comes Gomez Jr. on the fast break. 2-on-1 chance. Flies right in, breaks it a 1-point game.
Did you see Gomez Jr. blow by his defender? Got him with the fake. He was left behind, and he got the easy deuce.
Bakari White blew a tire, knocked towards the sideline, stolen away by Gomez Jr. Here comes Smart on the fast break. Draws the whistle. And they'll be inbounded down the baseline as Smart hits the deck. And an absolute unbelievable rally once again here in this
Look at the
third.
fake. Look at the fake right there. Number 24 had no chance with it. That's the beauty of the Euro step. So Gomez Jr. right down the
Step
traffic.
on Simpson,
and
yes.
Simpson just got hosed on that play as
And
Gomez Jr. finished it strong.
Smart going to the line to shoot for two. Thinks he will, as now we're having an officials conference because this could be a huge opportunity. While it's still in 4 minutes to go underneath that mark here in the third quarter, this could give the Saints their first lead of the half.
The first lead since early on into the game too, but it will be 2 free throws for Smart because it was in the shooting motion.
19-6 run for St. Clair, and a chance to put the exclamation point to the run to retake the lead since being down 14 at the start of the third quarter. Smart misses the first of 2.
And once again, you have to make those free throws, and there's a main reason.
Smart, a 79% free throw shooter, goes 1 for 2. We're tied up at 70. Simpson takes it back up, hands it back up Edwards. Now along the corner, Campbell. Back to Bakari White. Swung back to Simpson, back to Edwards. 12 on the shot clock. Simpson for 3. He responds with a triple, yes. And Simpson his second triple of the third quarter.
In the face of possible adversity, he just found an open shot.
Willis Paris able to shuffle on and finds his way to Lynch. Lynch not being able to find anybody yet. Willis Paris in the high post. Spins by the mismatch, in traffic, gets it to roll off the screws. Got it right over Anderson as Simpson rushes it back down. Edwards for the quick 3 off the back rim. Campbell able to get the second chance. Still 15 on the shot clock. 3:05 to go in the third. As we'll go back the other direction, offensive foul. And a huge mistake once again. And they will say offensive foul is the call. Dalen Davis will come back in now for Jalen Sykes. And a chance for St. Clair to retake the lead for the first time in a long while.
Since the first quarter.
At the 8:23 mark of the first quarter when St. Clair led by 4. A 6-2 start when they started off with that early run before the Bruins responded. Lynch passed out to Davis for the lead, gets it! Dalen Davis makes the mid-range jump shot. The Saints lead for the first time since the first minutes of the first quarter.
And this is a different story from last night. Saints getting an open look and Ian Smart with the foul.
If that was Dalen Davis, in fact, I believe there, that would be a huge foul for him too. Had 3 personals before the whistle. Will be called on the personal as Edwards goes to the line to shoot for 2. And he'll go back towards the bench. 4 fouls for Dalen Davis.
You're right, Dalen had his hands right up. Right as they were right in the midair.
And that means more playing time for Ahmad. And Ahmad's been looking pretty impressive when he's got the minutes. But for Edwards, a quiet night for the second leading scorer for the Sheridan Bruins. Just 1 for 6 from the field.
And now 2 of 3 from the free throw line and 0 of 2 from downtown.
3 for 3 as it's tied up at 74 to make the correction there. Edwards averaging 19 points per game does go 1 for 2 now. As now we're still tied at 74. Smart gets it into the front court to Ahmad. Bullet pass to the corner. Lynch for the 3, gets it! Jalen Lynch makes it a 3-point game for St. Clair. Meanwhile, Simpson hands it on off. Subban inside, rejected from behind. It will stay into the Sheridan Bruins for the possession.
And that will be Willis Paris' second block of the half. Was Will try to take another look at the Juwan Lynch 3. Again, when he gets those open looks, that's going to spell terror town for any other team that steps up against them. Good play from the well-seasoned veteran.
And on top of that, that was while breaking the press with some very quick passing from St. Clair to set that up. Meanwhile, the Bruins, 10 on the shot clock. Cutting inside for the layup. It's good. Anderson hits it with the right hand to give the Bruins a 1-point deficit. Smart hands it off to Ahmad. Ahmad in the double team. Now Lynch in traffic, runs into a brick wall. And we'll go, I believe, back the other direction. Yes, we will. It's a charge.
Yep, he had his feet planted right in time.
Yeah, perfectly placed charge for Anderson. and just got knocked over like a tree essentially while setting that screen, while setting that play inside.
Well, you know what? That's just taking one for the team. Cliches may be cliches, but that's a big stop for Sheridan.
Now Subban. Hands it back off Simpson on the outside. Bakari White been fairly quiet for the third quarter. Bakari White has been. Edwards out to an open Subban for three, gets it. And Sheridan retakes the lead.
And we're seeing that fast-paced scoring performance like we did at the beginning of the first quarter.
Back and forth we go. 90 seconds to go in the third. Gomez Jr. knocked out of bounds on the pass. It'll stay St. Clair possession with 13 on the shot clock. Going to be Ali Mansour with the inbound, lined up with Smart along with Ahmad. Gomez Jr. Willis Paris is knocked back out. And they will say a pushing foul. In fact, this one going against Subban. And that's going to be just the fourth of the quarter for the Bruins. Next foul puts St. Clair in the bonus. Minute 20 to go in the quarter. 10 now on the shot clock. Gomez Jr. feeling pressure from Simpson. Cuts in between three defenders, misses, puts in the second chance with the right hand.
I was about to say, Gomez Jr. did a little bit too much when you know he had a lot more help from the right side, but good on him to get the second chance opportunity. Almost a quick steal.
Bakari White nearly gets it tapped away. It's tapped away, rejected from Willis Paris in midair. Here comes Gomez Jr. for back-to-back points. No good, a tough shot. Anderson forces the miss. Smart with the second chance is stripped away. Subban able to shuffle it to Bakari White. Drives inside, gets it to go. And now Bakari White with now 20 points on the game. Just one of his few buckets of this third quarter as well. Been ice cold much of the quarter.
He's been taking care of business since Jamal Edwards started to go ice cold in his shooting.
And Gomez Jr. trying to go for the half side layup, no good. Shot clock is off. 18 seconds to go in the quarter. Edwards will slow it down. Edwards gets it to go left. Anderson with the signal. Anderson sets up for the fake screen. Driving inside is Edwards in traffic, gets it. St. Clair with 1 second to work with from half court.
Yep.
Mansour just misses off the back rim. And that was a near top 10 play of the season for Mansour from half court. Either way, after 3 quarters of play, it's anyone's ball game. 83-79 Bruins on We Digital over the Saints.
Hi everybody, this is Tina Brigley, host of In and Out of Your Mind with Tina Brigley on WeTV. Join me and my guests while we explore ways to get out of your mind and into your life. Join us each and every week for a new show. Come see me here on WeTV.
I learn by doing. I learn by reacting to a situation. St. Clair puts me directly into my industry. I'm dealing with real patients, real life situations. It's not just theory, it's not book work anymore.
I choose to take control of my future, and my path is St. Clair College. I choose to be here.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
Welcome back, everyone, to We Digital's coverage of the OCAA men's basketball. We like to say we are, of course, proud with the Westby Awards that the 14th annual Westby Awards keynote speaker will be Nicholas Lindstrom for 2019. The Westbys will be held on Monday, April 15, 2019 at the Caboto Club in Windsor, Ontario. Visit thewestbys.ca and nominate a deserving athlete for their Westby Award. Tickets available soon. And you're looking at the women's basketball team coming off a loss earlier today. Nor Bosnia currently under concussion protocol in the middle of your screen. But the men's team currently trailing by just 4 points entering the fourth quarter, Aaron.
And it was all because of a red-hot third quarter from St. Clair as they outscored them 29 to 18 as you take a look at the Lady Saints game from this afternoon.
79-68 was the final score for that matchup as they lost that matchup. We're down by 4 in the second quarter, but a similar game to the game on Saturday for them where they fell apart in the second quarter. Unfortunately, Gomez Jr., he's not falling apart. He's making mid-range jump shots. Makes it back a 2-game point advantage for the Bruins. Bruins now back on the other side, swinging the ball outside the perimeter. Finding Campbell, takes it inside, around the paint. Able to swing it back again. Edwards shuffles in. Tough shot, draws the foul, as it looks like it may be on Ahmad. And so, to the line to shoot for 2 will be the Bruins as Ahmad draws the foul. Or he's called for the foul, I should say. Just his first.
And once again, we're seeing, you even mentioned this at the beginning of the telecast, JP, Kodor Ahmad, whenever he's on the court, he's making it work. He scored a couple of buckets early on in the game, but once again, when you have a couple of players in foul trouble, you have to empty out your bench. And so far, Kodor Ahmad's doing a good job taking care of business from that bench as that free throw is made. 4-point game.
For those just tuning in, the St. Clair Saints trail 85-81 to the Sheridan Bruins as they go to and hit the deck. Gomez Jr. finding Mansour, off to Ahmad. Smart, back to Gomez Jr. Guarded now by Subban. 6 on the shot clock, inside the lane on the runner, no good. The Bruins pick up another rebound 1 minute into this fourth quarter. On the floor for the Bruins, Campbell lined up with Edwards, Subban also along with Anderson, who makes the jump shot and gets it. Rounding out the players on the floor, Simpson, who helped set up that pass for that mid-range shot. 6-point lead and stolen right away. Campbell makes it look easy as Edwards drives in for the bucket. 5th assist, 4th assist of the game for Campbell, as now Edwards is heating up. He's now in double digits. Nearly stolen away, is stolen away by Simpson. Takes it coast to coast on transition, gets it. And St. Clair calls the timeout. What was a close game, just a 4-point lead for the Bruins, has just swelled to 10 on a 6-0 run.
And it's because of unnecessary passes. Those turnovers from St. Clair really burned them in the last couple of possessions. Nobody was ready for those passes, so you throw it away, and that just opens up a good fast break for Sheridan.
8-2 is the score in the quarters. You see the last of those 2 buckets for Edwards, wide open in the lane. And looking back again to the drive with Simpson, again, no defense on either of those plays. And some sad looks for some of the fans, again, after gaining 10 points in the third quarter. St. Clair just let it all fall back, it looks like here all of a sudden.
It's because of not really smart passes. You start off with Ali Mansour at the other end. Nobody was ready for it, and that prompted the steal. And now you got them almost breaking the half-court pressure, but they weren't able to do it. Cross-court pass led to a steal. And a quick, easy 2 for Sheridan. That's why they're up 10 now.
Indeed, both teams finishing up their timeouts. 2 remaining each side right now for this fourth quarter as the Bruins lead 91-81. The Bruins still shooting 55%, mind you, too. St. Clair still shooting 54%, but it's, again, coming down, as you mentioned, a game of turnovers and a game of who controls the momentum. The Bruins, while down in points off turnovers, 23-10 statistically, have looked much more stronger defensively to the Saints as they have possession. Willis Paris now on the floor for St. Clair after the timeout, along with Ahmad, Gomez Jr., along with Smart. Sykes rounds out the 5 as Willis Paris chases down the miss. Kept in bounds though and tapped by Simpson. Simpson back over Sykes, no good as it goes off Subban. They say it went off a State, in fact, over top of Subban's head to go out of bounds. Bruins ball. And some great effort there from Simpson, too, to go coast to coast.
Absolutely. The only thing stopping him was Jalen Sykes meeting him at the basket, but nonetheless, Bruins have another chance to slow things down and control this game.
Subban swings it outside. Edwards able to find Simpson. Back inside, no good for a second straight layup as it goes to the Saints' possession. Smart was fighting for the rebound on that play. And at this point, with under 8 minutes to go, Who do you expect to step it up? It can't be just Gomez Jr. and Sykes that score, of course.
I think if you get Jawan Lynch back into the ball game, get him wide open for those looks, he could deliver the damage. Or somebody like Willis Paris to take it up, but have to be very strong with those finishes.
Rejected on the layup, as you've seen by Anderson, as it's given to Subban for the triple. Just a bit too long. Smart picking up another rebound for St. Clair. That's his 5th of the game. Able to find Willis Paris outside Ahmad. Ahmad draws the whistle as Anderson will be called for the foul. Jalon Lynch, you called him on key, getting ready to come in after this foul. You see there, just textbook right into Anderson as he was trying to defend the play.
The more often you give the ball to Kudur Ahmad, the more confidence he will get as we have substitutions on the floor.
They say Ahmad will go to the line to shoot for 2. He was in the shooting motion, they say, as he was trying to put the ball up while 108 degrees behind the basket. And our substitution also coming in. Watch Bakari White in this game. While he did not have a as good third quarter as in some games this season, he might be someone that steps up. He was the best one that lit up the Saints on home court. Both free throws missed though by Ahmad. Second chance though by Smart, able to get it.
And keep in mind, Bacardi White had 18 points in the half alone.
And no points in the third. Passed along to Campbell. 15 on the shot clock, 7 minutes to go in the fourth. Edwards puts up the shot over Ahmad off the front rim. Smart picks up another rebound as they give it back to Ahmad. Ahmad drives in, no whistle as Campbell hits the deck, no good. Taken up now by Bakari White. Bakari White looks like the strategy is double team Bakari White as he had to hand it off to Campbell. Campbell inside, no good. Second chance, no good, Anderson. Third chance from Campbell, no good. Rejected Willis Paris on the rebound, but still getting into St. Clair. 6:35 to go in the fourth. Smart has the mismatch. Cuts in, able to find Willis Paris baseline, no good. And Willis Paris is starting to become ice cold from the field, 2 of 7. On the other side, Campbell drawing the whistle, going back to the line once again to shoot for 2. And this again will be his 5th trip to the line after this play.
And the approach from Gomez Jr. is to stop the ball, but unfortunately Sheridan's real good of making decisions in midair, trying to get the body position right in for a foul.
Counterpoint. You don't want to just leave a wide open layup for somebody.
No.
It's not as that simple. Sometimes you have to take the foul. Just his first personal for Gomez Jr. and the second for the team as Campbell misses the first.
But getting back to the point, JP, Gomez Jr. was the only one right in front. So I agree with you on that. But you don't want the body to be construed to a point where it might be an unsportsmanlike foul.
Exactly. 1 for 2 at the line goes Campbell. Meanwhile, 9-point game still. As right now Sheridan trying to go for a press. It's like a 1-2-1 press up the floor as the shot's good for Sykes in the corner. Jalen Sykes now continuing to try and heat it up, 23. Driving inside the response, Campbell doesn't get the lucky roll. Dalen Davis on the floor with the rebound.
We're seeing Sheridan getting a lot of good looks down low, but they haven't been able to finish. It's been sort of like the women's game earlier today.
And putting up the corner shot, no good. Sykes picked up again, Anderson the board. On the floor now for Sheridan, along with the normal players as mentioned before, and passing it along to the making the bucket, Thompson. Edwards making the bucket. I should really rephrase, Dante Thompson was the running point, giving it off to Edwards for the play. Gomez Jr. cuts in the lane, meanwhile responds. He's got 30. And David Gomez Jr. starting to catch on fire. Meanwhile, Edwards decides to cut in, misses on the hard layup. Smart able to take it up with the rebound, able to avoid the reach from Anderson. Finding Lynch inside, drawing the whistle. Going to line to shoot for 2, Jalon Lynch for just the 2nd time today.
And you know, Ian wouldn't have gotten far if it wasn't for the behind the back dribble, and then he lead it off for Jawan Lynch, who was just right there at the right time.
And the foul called, I should say, I believe Thompson. 2nd personal against Sheridan in the quarter. Lynch still ice cold from the line, 0 for 3. Coming into today, Jalon Lynch from the stripe, 56%, 0 for 4 now. and those were crucial. Could have had a chance to bring it to a one-possession game. Instead, the Bruins have a chance to pull it away a little bit. Anderson gets the bank layup to go. Up to a 7-point advantage now. Gomez Jr. running point, Lynch at shooting guard. Lynch has to get it across, gets stripped away. Stolen away by the Bruins, up the floor and put in by Edwards. As it's back up to, again, a 9-point advantage. Timeout called St. Clair, their second to last of the game. We'd like to remind you the next webcast for We Digital for St. Clair College Sports is on Saturday, January the 19th, when Saints volleyball takes place. Be sure to tune in as the ladies and men take on the Redeemer Royals, starting with the ladies at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, the men at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, only on We Digital. Also afterwards, Saints basketball on Wednesday, the January 23rd. That is a crucial game, as we've seen with the standings in the first quarter. The Lambton Lions at 500 entering today, taking on the Saints. 6 p.m. the ladies, the men at 8 p.m. The reason I said crucial is the men's game, they're 500, 6th in the standings. Saints needed to win to try and get towards them.
Absolutely, they're still trying to look for home court advantage as we see the St. Clair bench, but I don't want to. A lot of people don't want to see the Saints lose back-to-back games really close. They have to buckle down. If they're able to get a win here today, that's a good start, as you see our lovely names right there. But getting back to the point, they had a good game against Humber. It took the second half for them to wake up. They cut the lead down to 1, but it just wasn't enough for them. And now they find themselves in the same predicament here this afternoon.
The last time the Saints lost back-to-back games this season was November 21st and December 1st. That was to Lambton College and Humber College, respectively, back-to-back, before winning on the road against the University of Toronto Mississauga to finish off the 2018 calendar year. St. Clair with possession after the timeout. Lynch lined up with Gomez Jr. along with Smart, Davis, and Sykes. Smart for the 3, no good. Davis trying to fight for the rebound, picked up by Anderson. Anderson able to bullet it up to Simmons. Simpson, contested jumper, gets it. And we're back up to double digits for the lead for the first time since the early part of the fourth. Gomez Jr. back and forth now with Sykes. 4 minutes to work with for St. Clair. The fans at the edge of their seats. Down the baseline. No good on the contested and very bad shot. Rushing up the floor, Bakari White able to find his man, able to find Thompson for the layup. And a good pass to Thompson for the trailer.
Absolutely.
And now it's a 13-point lead. Momentum swinging to Sheridan. Davis outside. Sykes for 3. Yes, sir! And a must-make bucket. It's now 102-92. 3:30 to go in the fourth. Simpson slowing down the pace. Bakari White moves to the corner along with Thompson. Spinning in the paint is Campbell. Back out to the perimeter. Bakari White. Back out to Campbell for the response. Triple, no good. Lynch gets the board. Gomez Jr. now takes it up the left side as the point guard. Finding Lynch into traffic. Finding the back door. Bounces off Smart's left hand. Stolen away. Sheridan pushes up the tempo. Able to find the corner and throws it to the bench instead. It goes out of bounds. A bad pass from Dante Thompson.
And that's a rarity for Sheridan coming into this game as well. But now St. Clair has the opportunity to make a crucial stop and try to cut this lead. Quick steal.
And another momentum swing. Again, stolen away. Thompson gets the bucket to make up for the turnover. But that's the way the game's gone today for parts of today. Every time St. Clair's stolen the ball, Sheridan, especially in the second half, has gotten it right back. Nearly stealing away again as it's knocked out of bounds. And it's a turnover. And even it up 15 apiece turnovers now for each side after the turnover from Gomez Jr.
And in this game of runs, it's been Sheridan that's been providing the most damage. They've been able to capitalize on those loose balls. They've been able to turn the ball, well, not turn the ball over, but cause turnovers for St. Clair. And they're finding ways to get good shots.
Indeed, right now, and that's why they have a +8 in the quarter. On the outside, the Bruins. Campbell, mid-range. Stolen away by Lynch. Fast break opportunity. Going for the slam. He's fouled. Anderson called for the foul as Lynch trying to go for the poster.
As much as that would lead to the human highlight reel, if I was Jawan right on that breakaway, I would have just taken one quick look behind me because you know you're going to have somebody right behind you. It would have been a good effort to go for the slam. I would have just gone for the easy layup and let him hit me right from behind.
And Brandon Segan jumped right off the bench as soon as that happened, too. I think he was thinking the same thing. Why not go with the left-hand layup and bank it off the glass for the easy two? Instead, Lynch goes 1 for 2 at the stripe. That is now in the corner, 1 for 4. Press coming now for St. Clair. Breaking through it is the Bruins again. Bakari, no good. Bakari White has a kickball violation. It will stay Saints' possession after picking up the rebound after the kick ball, but under 2 minutes to go. It's time to turn up the urgency knob up to 10. Maybe 25 if it goes up that high. As Lynch gets the pick and roll with Smart. Finding the backdoor cut. Sykes gets it to go. Jalen Sykes brings it back to single digits.
Brandon Segan urging for a full court pressure. He won't get it this time.
Trying to fake the shot, Thompson. Swings it back outside to the left side now, Campbell. Back to Thompson. Open for the 3 off the front rim. Lynch picks up another rebound.
Not a good pass.
And that bad pass gets tapped around by Sheridan and stolen away. Brandon Segan now finally gets that full court press. It backs off immediately. Wide open again. Thompson again back into back misses. Smart picks up the board. He's trying to take it back up to Gomez Jr. Gomez Jr., the must-make bucket. Out to Lynch for the triple. Way off on the shot. And Lynch way too long on the triple as they draw the whistle. Dalen Davis not happy. Lynch immediately off to the bench.
Because he fouled out.
Yes, indeed. That is his 5th. Davis still with 4. Ahmad comes onto the floor. And so Lynch finishes off the day, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 7 from the field, but 2 of 6 from the stripe. And a charge call drawn by Ian Smart. It's going to go against Thompson, as that means he is done for the game. That's his 5th.
It was all based on the positioning from Ian Smart.
Pardon me, Anderson. Jermaine Anderson fouled out.
Going back to the positioning of Ian Smart, right near the sideline, right near the timeline as well. He positioned his body right at a great angle to the point where one of the supposed trailers were supposed to go down to the basket, but Ian Smart did a good idea, planting his feet right down near the sidelines for the referee to see it, and now the Saints have a big break here. The question is, can they capitalize on it?
So Jermaine Anderson fouls out to add to that 8 points, 11 rebounds today. Also a couple blocks. As now 1 minute to go in the 4th quarter. Can St. Clair come back? 95 for them, 104 for the Bruins. Davis, no good on the triple. Thompson gets the rebound. He's feeling the full court press. Able to find his way up to his man, Danzo Dappa. Dappa hits the deck. Count to Simpson. Simpson spins away from the defense, draws the whistle, and it'll be a foul on the floor, just the 4th for the Saints. They still have a foul to give.
You know, I don't know why St. Clair fell asleep on the defensive end. After that loose ball, JP, that could have been easily a quick steal and for them to advance the ball. But Sheridan was right on that ball, and now they have a chance to ice it.
A big time possession, 14 still on the shot clock, 37.1 to go. Able to swing the ball around, able to find Danzo Dappa. Slowing it down Simpson, 7 to work with. Smart the matchup. Drives towards Smart, knocks over Smart. It's a charge, a second straight one drawn by Ian Smart. And a huge charge drawn as well. Just the 2nd personal for Simpson. And timeout called on the floor. Yes, indeed. As it's called by Coach Flack, wanting to talk things over. In fact, called by St. Clair for their 2nd to last. So now the pressure is on. 104-95 to score. About 30 seconds to go. What do you expect to see here with just very small amount of time available? Very limited amount of time.
Well, you can see Jawan Lynch, he fouled out of the game, so there goes your go-to option for the three-point line, but you could see Jalen Sykes, he has 28. Gomez Jr. has the better look for the threes because he's been killing it from the mid-range game. Now it's time for him to spread it out with 24 seconds to go. So you might have to give it to the hands of Gomez Jr. or Jalen Sykes for the quick basket.
Gomez Jr. 28, Sykes 28 as well today. But the difference between the two, Sykes has been more consistent in terms of made shots, 2 of 5 from 3. David Gomez 1 of 4 today. So what do you expect to be the play call here? Do you try and set up some, again, as you said, try and get a quick basket potentially if there's not enough time. Do you expect with that, making it now 24.1 on the clock, for them to go straight to the bucket and just hope for missed free throws now?
That's right, because keep in mind, if you have David Gomez Jr. on the floor right now, he's more apt to shoot and make those free throws. He's 5 of 5 for the evening.
And he'll be inbounded by Ahmad, lined up with Sykes, Smart, Davis, Gomez Jr. The players on the floor. Gomez Jr. taking a lot of time, finding Sykes, puts up the 3, airballs it out of bounds right to the cameraman. As you can see Albert tapping the ball back towards the play. Great work by Albert today for sure, but still, that could be the dagger.
Most likely.
St. Clair trying to go for the intentional foul potentially as Simpson takes it to the front court. They back off for the Sheridan Bruins. They will move to the double-digit win club like the women's counterparts. They move to 10-3 on the season. St. Clair falls to 4-7. The final score, 104 Bruins, 95 for the St. Clair Saints.
You know, it was a good outing. St. Clair had a good, strong second half, but the problem is they weren't able to bridge that gap. Free throws were the issues, number one, and number two, it's the defense falling asleep, especially on those loose balls, and they could have capitalized on that today.
And Stephon Simpson, the big-time player, stepping up with 10 points in the second half to lead the team in scoring in the end after Bakari White went 0 for the rest of the way and barely took shots for much of the second half. We'll take a step aside when we come back while post-game coverage here on We Digital. Final score once again, Sheridan Bruins 104, St. Clair Saints 95.
I learn by doing. I learn by reacting to a situation. St. Clair puts me directly into my industry. I'm dealing with real patients, real life situations. It's not just theory, it's not book work anymore.
I choose to take control of my future and my path to St. Clair College. I choose to be here.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
All right, welcome back. Wrapping things up here at the St. Clair College Sportsplex, joined by the co-head coach, Matt Sykes. And Matt, a strong second half run from the Saints, but it just wasn't enough for you guys yet again. What were some of the issues?
We got to stop digging ourselves such a hole in the first half. We give up 64 points, I think, and we're down 14 going into the second half, and we got to stop. We got to get some stops early. Just like Humber last night, we played good defense in the second half. We played really good in the second half, but we got to find a way to limit these big quarters to keep ourselves in the game.
Gomez Jr. and Jalen Sykes striking it rich once again. But the most interesting part about it was I was impressed at Juwan Lynch's ability to try to get right back into the game. He found some good looks. He was good defensively. And once again, it goes to show that these well-seasoned veterans are really helping out when it comes to these young guys. So what is it about Juwan Lynch that just gets the team going?
He's very good defensively. He brings a lot of energy. He's probably our high-energy guy out of the team. In the locker room, we told him he needed to step up in the second half and come out and play hard. And like you said, like you saw, when we came back, it was all him going all over the court, getting steals, hitting shots. He's a little ball of energy, and he really helps us a lot.
I know you guys go on the road, but if you got to take a look at this game, what are some of the positives you guys have to accentuate before the next couple of games?
Well, our offense is definitely there. We put up 86 against the number 3 ranked team in Canada last night and put up, I don't even know what we finished with there, 90-something. And we got to find a way to get some stops. And some of the positives would be moving the ball offensively. And bear down in the second half, we can bear down after one half. So the defense stops when we need them. Just going to come.
Thank you for your time,
Thanks a
Matt.
lot.
Good luck. And once again, the Saints dropped this one. It was a very close game, but they lose that by 9. And we thank all of you for tuning in here. The next broadcast for We Digital will be this Saturday as volleyball will take place, as the St. Clair Saints will host the Redeemer Royals. And on the 23rd, we'll have more basketball once again as the Lambton Lions come in to play against the St. Clair Saints. That'll do it for us right here at We Digital. We thank all of you for watching, not only for this afternoon, but for this weekend. It was a great pair of games for us to present to you. So until next time, this be Aaron Sanders saying so long from the Rose City.